Hey people, so today I wanted to talk about a segment I watched from the Tyra Show. Yep, it's a throwback. So basically, the Tyra Show had a segment about biracial people that hate one racial side of themselves. It featured a teenager who was half black and half Mexican. So he is half black and half non-white Latino. Now on the show, he came off as being very ignorant. This might sound crazy, but he actually was spewing out racist stereotypes about Mexicans. Yup. Despite being half Mexican, he felt comfortable saying ignorant things about Mexicans. For instance, he claimed that Mexicans were graffiti artists. Very inaccurate and very ignorant. He also claimed that he only identifies as being African American and not Mexican American at all. Now, the funny thing is that he actually goes on to say that despite only identifying as being African American, he agrees with the stereotype that all black people are ghetto. He says that he agrees with that stereotype since the majority of black people are ghetto. This kid might be a lost cause. Watching the video of this kid saying such ignorant things was so sad to see, but Tyra and her guest co-host Kimberly Locke were able to find the real reason as to why he said the offensive things he said about being Mexican, Mexicans in general, and black people. So here's what you need to know. Before the teenager, his name is Roderick, was on the show, the Tyra Show had people guess what his race was, and everyone pretty much said that he was African American, black. Correct me if I'm wrong, but no one said that he was part Latino or anything other than just black. Although it took some time, he eventually admitted that he rejects his Mexican side because no one ever sees him as being biracial / half Mexican. This is because he has dark skin. He also admitted that if he looked more like his sister, who has lighter skin and a looser hair pattern, he would be proud to accept his Mexican heritage. His sister talked about how she is often mistaken for other races, like Middle Eastern, given her features which differ from her brother. When he admitted this part, part of me felt bad for him, but at the end of the day, experiencing colorism and texturism does not give you the right to treat other people badly and spew out racist rhetoric. That's fighting fire with fire and just makes you akin to the oppressor. Instead, he should have used his negative experiences with colorism to educate people that dark-skinned biracial people do, in fact, exist. I hope that after the show, he was able to change his mindset. His mother was, of course, upset to hear her son say what he said about Mexicans, since that is her culture and his as well. People in society struggle to understand how a person can be both biracial and dark-skinned. This is because society only shows one type of biracial appearance, i.e. light skin and loose brown curly hair, and makes it difficult for dark-skinned people to identify as being biracial. This is why representation matters. The teenager in the video, despite his ignorance, talked about how since people don't identify him as being biracial, he doesn't identify as being biracial himself. This is a common thing that happens to biracial people, especially if they are half black or if they look like one race over another. This whole thing calls into question the one-drop rule, which I'll talk about in a later video. So what are your thoughts? Do you think that he was just being ignorant, or that his hateful words came from self-hate? Let me know.
So then, should you hate all of yourself then?
No,
Like, what is the point of you existing? If you're going with the stereotype of a black person, the stereotype of a Mexican person, then what is your worth at all?
I don't really see myself as Mexican because I feel like this is what society handed me. They don't see me as Mexican. They see me as black. So that's the way I'm gonna portray myself. If they want me to be black, then that's what I'll be. People don't really usually see me. They don't say, oh.
So if you did look more like your sister, who looks more mixed than you do, then you would claim the Latin part of your race, of the Latin part of your blood?
I would be proud, but I'm a typical dark black person, and people can't see that I'm mixed unless they're like even today, people were asking me where was my mother when she was standing right next to me.
And what does that make you feel like? That's what I want to know.
You sound angry about that. You sound angry that you have this other part of your culture, which happens to be Mexican, but when people look at you, they see you as just an African-American man. Are you upset about that?
I mean, it's kind of offensive. Like, I feel like people are being sort of ignorant to the fact that there are biracial people. Like, this can't possibly be my mother. Or like, if we're out and she'll be like, we'll go to the movies and somebody be like, can I get your mother with you? And like, she's standing right here. So I feel like that's the way I have to be.
So it's because they don't see your mother in you, it's made you angry, and it hurts. What does it feel like when somebody is looking at you and looking at your mother and saying that is not your mother? What does that make you feel like inside, in here?
I feel like they're denying a part of me, so they kind of push me into a corner where I have to deny myself in order to make them happy.
We'll be right back.